Paul, I'd like to say great to see you, but obviously these are very difficult times. What can you tell us?
Yeah, very difficult times, difficult to find an occasion when you can smile, but there are, moments of humanity, moments where smiling is possible. Indeed, it's important to try and smile as much as you can, but the latest figures show that over 1 million refugees have now streamed across the border from Ukraine into Poland, and that is the bulk of the total number that are coming across. 1.5 million in total, heading also to other countries including Hungary, Slovakia, for example, also Moldova taking its share as well. But we are at Chelm station. We're about 20 kilometres from the border. Just behind me, they've actually moved the border here at the train station. So what you can see now, or at least a moment ago, there were lots of border control officials, and they had their stamps out, and people were coming through and getting their passport checks. If I look out the window, you can see a train from Ukraine. That one's come from Kyiv. And there are some families who've, we're not sure whether they've got off the train, or perhaps they're going on the train back to Kyiv, or maybe going on to another destination. But that's the Ukrainian train from Kyiv that's pulled into the station here at Chelm. And when the people come off the train, gone through passport control, they then come through the station here. They can pick up some sweets here for the kids. There's some forms there that can help them. Over here, some German medics have been helping with anyone that needs first aid. And then as we wander through the station, around the corner, there's some more aid that's been set up by volunteers. Here are some Polish volunteers helping the kids there. There you go, giving them some sweets there as they just come off the train, and some soft toys there. Really important to keep the kids going. He loves that. Bless him. So, yeah, everyone's trying to help out the best way they can. And the trains are supposed to arrive every half an hour or so, but frankly, there's no such thing as a timetable during episodes like this, during times like this. So the trains just kind of arrive as and when they can, and the Polish authorities go out to meet them. They meet them off the train, and then they bring them through passport control, and then from here they start a long journey to a registration centre. They might spend a night or two here in Chelm, and then they may move on to another part of Poland or Germany or France. But I was speaking to one of the volunteers here earlier. She's nipped away for a moment, but I was speaking to her, and she said that every other house in Chelm is filled with the Ukrainian family at the moment, and they want to help as much as they can, but frankly, it is becoming more and more difficult to find semi-permanent and permanent homes in Poland at the moment. So people are having to go further to Germany, and the situation is only going to get worse because 1 million people have come here from Ukraine. The UN reckons that the total number of refugees who are going to leave Ukraine could rise to as much as 4 million, with 12 million internally displaced. So the situation is only going to get worse.
Paul, you're going to be reporting throughout the day for us here on GB News. Just briefly, because we're almost at the top of the hour, is there any sign of any British presence there on the border in terms of officials, in terms of NGOs, charities, apart from your presence, of course?
No, I haven't seen any British officials. That's not to say it's not happening along the border. That's not to say that there isn't any sort of British help that is here or is on its way here, but certainly in Chelm at the Dorohusk border crossing, where I've been for the last sort of 3 or 4 days in that time space, in that little bit of the border, and it is a huge border. I haven't seen any British aid. There's been lots of Germans, Lithuanians, people from across Poland coming to help, but I haven't seen any British aid yet. But I should stress that doesn't mean that it isn't here and that Brits aren't doing their bit.